2. And now this is how the first question is when it comes to functions and relations. Now, we said the function is actually a formula in the first place that is a result of an input. So now, we look at the general formula for that particular function, which is going to be, for us to find the solution from here, looking at the question, because these are arrow diagrams we are using. So the arrow diagram, according to me here, this is the type of function is one-to-one function. Now, we want to find the formula that will help us come up with this particular function. So this is my A is this one, and wow, this is my B. My A is this one, or this is my B. Always remember to say, if this is my X, if my A represents the input, while the B represents the outcome result. So the emphasis on this part is that one to say, if my A can represent the domain, while my B, at the same time, it can represent the range of a given function. Now, I'll really concentrate very much on the gradient part M. I'll say y is equal to mx plus c. I'll use this general formula that will help me come up with an equation of this particular function by the help of the arrow diagram. But I'll concentrate very much on the B part. B represents the range, or in other words, we can say that as the y-intercept form. Now, we look at the difference. This M here, this very M here represents the gradient M, and the gradient is the same on the y values. So the y values of B here, so-called the range, is going to help us find the value of M. How? We subtract, then look at the difference. We're going to say M is equal to 2 minus 3. The result is going to be a -1 throughout. Again, I can say my M can be equal to 3 minus 4. It's going to be still -1. Lastly, I can say my M is equal to this 4 minus 5, 4 minus 5. The result is going to be a -1. So in short, that I found the value of M, which is going to be, therefore, my M is going to be a -1. Now, how do I find the value? How do I find the value of these two actually here? I've known the value of this one. I can only find, how do I find the value of C here? What I will do there is I'm simply going to say that I'll pick any coordinate here. I was just simply going to say that y is equal to mx plus c. I have to find the y-intercept called c here by the help of the value of m, x, and y. Always remember to say this, the coordinate, I can pick any coordinate. Here I have 4 pairs of the coordinates there. So I can pick any, if I want, I can pick 2, 2. If I want, I can pick 1, 3, 0, 4, -1, 5. Any of these pair of coordinates I can pick. Okay, I'll pick 2, 2. 2, is what I'll pick here. And I found M here, my M is equal to -1. So I'll substitute the values in the main formula here. I'll simply say this 2 represents x, while this other 2 represents the value of y. So my y is 2 is equal to my m that I found is -1. Open bracket. What is the x I found? What is the x I found? It's 2 plus c. Remember, I have to make c the subject before me. So what I'll do there is, I'll simply say that 2 is equal to I multiply -1, multiply this, it's going to be a -2 plus C. I collect like terms, I'll simply say 2 plus 2 is equal to C. When I add the 2, the result is going to be 4 is equal to C. Therefore, the value of C will be equal to 4. Now, I have found the value of M, which is -1. At the same time, I have found the y-intercept C. So it will be very easy for me to come up with an equation by the help of this standard formula here. By simply substituting or replacing the value of M and C only, maintaining the values of y and x to be constant. So what I'll simply do there, the final solution will be, the final solution here, the equation of this function will be, the equation of this function will be y is equal to, what is the value of M we found? It's -1. So it's going to be -x like this. Then what will be the value of C? Which is plus 4. So this becomes the answer of that particular problem. So this is the formula for this derivation on A. So this is how we solve this function. All right, let's continue from the same question of 2019, paper 2, on function and relation. So I just want to make a continuation of the question in Roman numeral 2. Having found the formula or an equation using the arrow diagram, where it now is going to help us to solve the value of y when the value of x is also given. So we're not going to beat about the bush there. We're just going to go straight forward by saying, if the equation has been given, we say y is equal to -x plus 4. This is the equation that we found, which represents this function and relation. So now, the same equation is going to help us to find the value of x. So what you're going to do there is, they want you to find the value of y when, provided that the value of x has been given. So here, without wasting time, we're just going to substitute. Where there's 5, where there's x, you just have to put a 5. Therefore, you say that y is equal to, this x represents -5, and then plus 4. Then from there, we'll say that the value of y will be equal to a -1. This is the final answer.